My boyfriend's affair left me numb. So I did what he did, and more. One night, he grabbed my phone and saw a message from a man. His face dropped as he read, "Can't wait to see you again." He looked at me, tears in his eyes, and whispered, "How could you?" I smiled and said, "Now you know how it feels." He never cheated again, because I never gave him another chance. I met Alex during my sophomore year at the University of Washington in Seattle. He was a junior studying architecture, and we clicked right away. Our days were filled with coffee dates at Café Allegro and walks around Green Lake. After graduation, we moved into a cozy apartment in Capitol Hill. I started working as a graphic designer, and Alex joined a well-known architectural firm downtown. Life felt perfect. But things changed. Alex began working late more often, saying he had tight deadlines. At first, I believed him. But then he started missing calls and not replying to texts. Our conversations became short and about everyday things like groceries. One evening, while Alex was in the shower, his phone buzzed on the counter. A message preview popped up, "Can't wait to see you again. Last night was amazing." Red heart, my heart sank. I picked up his phone and unlocked it. What I found broke me. There were dozens of messages from a woman named Sophia, talking about their times together and plans to meet. There were photos too, pictures of them at Alki Beach and Pike Place Market, places Alex and I used to go. I felt numb. I confronted Alex that night. He didn't deny it. He cried and apologized, saying it was a mistake and that he wouldn't do it again. I decided to stay, thinking we could fix things. We went to couples therapy and tried to reconnect, but the trust was gone. I became distant, focusing more on work. Then I met Daniel. Daniel was a new client at the design firm, a writer working on his first novel. Our professional relationship quickly turned into friendship. He was attentive and made me feel noticed. We bonded over our love for books, spending hours discussing different authors. One evening, after a tough day, Daniel invited me to a reading at Elliott Bay Book Company. Alex had canceled our dinner plans last minute, so I went. The night was filled with laughter and engaging conversations. As Daniel walked me to my car, there was a moment, a charged silence where our eyes met, and without thinking, I leaned in. The kiss was electric, a jolt to my dormant heart. Guilt immediately followed, but so did a sense of empowerment. I had been faithful, patient, and understanding, yet I was the one left to pick up the pieces of Alex's infidelity. The affair with Daniel was brief but intense. It wasn't about love, it was about reclaiming a part of myself that I'd lost. I knew it wasn't the right way to heal, but at that moment, it felt like justice. One night, as Alex and I sat on the couch watching a mindless sitcom, my phone buzzed. Absent-mindedly, Alex picked it up and glanced at the screen. His face turned ashen as he read the message, "Can't wait to see you again." He looked at me, eyes filled with hurt and confusion. "How could you?" he whispered. I met his gaze, a calmness washing over me. "Now you know how it feels," I replied. The following days were a blur of arguments, tears, and revelations. Alex admitted that his affair with Sophia had continued longer than he'd confessed. The foundation of our relationship, already cracked, crumbled entirely. I moved out shortly after, finding solace in a small studio apartment in Fremont. The days were lonely, but they were mine. I focused on healing, attending therapy, and rediscovering passions I'd neglected. Reflecting on it all, I realized that revenge doesn't heal wounds, it only deepens them. But it did serve as a catalyst, forcing me to confront the reality of our broken relationship and find the strength to walk away. Alex and I haven't spoken since the breakup. I hear through mutual friends that he's moved to Portland, pursuing a fresh start. As for me, I'm learning to trust again, to open my heart without fear. It's a slow process, but with each passing day, the weight of betrayal lifts a little more. 2 months after I moved out, I thought I was finally getting back on track. My days were quiet but peaceful. I walked to work through the damp streets of Fremont, made myself dinner while watching the rain fall on the window, and sometimes visited my sister across town to feel less alone. But healing isn't a straight line. It doesn't warn you when it's about to throw something new at you. It started with a phone call. A number I didn't recognize popped up on my screen one Tuesday afternoon. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick it up. "Hi, is this Marissa?" A woman's voice asked. "Yes," I said slowly. "This is Sophia." I froze. The name hit me like a punch. My chest tightened. "I know this is probably weird," she continued, "but I think we need to talk." My mind was racing. I didn't want to talk to her. I didn't want to hear her voice, or listen to her side of the story. But curiosity overpowered me. We agreed to meet at a small coffee shop in Ballard the next day. I didn't know what I expected. An apology? A confrontation? What I got was something else entirely. She was nothing like I imagined. She looked nervous, wearing a baggy hoodie and jeans, no makeup, hands trembling as she stirred her coffee. "I didn't know he had a girlfriend," she said right away. "Not at first." I didn't speak. I just stared. "He told me he was single. Divorced, actually. Said you two had broken up a long time ago. It wasn't until I found a photo of you two on his Facebook, hidden deep in his old albums, that I started to question things." "He said we were over?" I asked, stunned. She nodded. I confronted him. "He said you were basically roommates. That you stayed for convenience. He said you were cold and distant." I didn't believe him at first, but then he'd always have some excuse ready. I was stupid to fall for it. I sat there, jaw clenched. I didn't want to feel sorry for her. But part of me did. I remembered that kind of trust, believing every word he said, even when the signs were right there. Then she dropped the bomb. "I'm pregnant." Everything went silent in my head. I stared at her, trying to process what she'd just said. "I didn't plan it. I only found out 2 weeks ago," she continued. "And I'm not here to ask for anything. I'm keeping the baby, but I'm not staying with him. He's manipulative. I didn't see it before, but now I do. I just thought you should know." I felt like the room tilted sideways. My stomach turned. All the progress I thought I'd made, the therapy, the long walks, the journaling. It felt like it shattered all at once. She left not long after. I stayed there for an hour, staring at my cold coffee. Over the next few days, I couldn't sleep. I kept picturing Alex with a baby. Wondering if he'd lied to me about everything, even the little things. I started thinking back to our relationship, how he always made me feel guilty when I questioned him, how he twisted stories to make himself look like the victim. And then I realized something that made my blood run cold. Daniel had stopped texting. We used to check in almost daily, even after things had cooled off between us. He was always kind, always asked how I was doing. But suddenly, silence. I tried to brush it off. Maybe he was busy. But after a week, I sent him a message. No reply. Then, late one night, I checked his Instagram. A new post. A woman tagged in it. I clicked. The photos were from Bainbridge Island, a cozy little Airbnb cabin with a hot tub in the woods. I recognized the place. He'd mentioned it once. Said he wanted to take me there. Now, he'd taken someone else. My heart sank. So there it was. Alex lied. Sophia was pregnant. Daniel ghosted me. And I was alone. Again. And just when I thought things couldn't get messy, Alex texted me. "Alex, I need to talk. It's about the baby. Please." I stared at the screen, fingers hovering over the keyboard. I hadn't blocked him. Maybe I should have. He followed it with another message. "Alex, you don't know the full story. Sophia lied too." Now my head is spinning. I don't know what to believe anymore. Do I meet with him? Do I block him and move on? What the hell is the full story? I thought I had hit rock bottom when I caught him cheating. But this? This is a whole new level of crazy. And I don't know where it's going to go from here. I didn't reply to Alex right away. I just stared at the messages. Something about them didn't sit right. He was always good at pulling me back in, saying just enough to plant doubt in my mind. But a few days later, I agreed to meet. We chose a neutral place, a public bench near the Seattle waterfront, not far from the Great Wheel. It was cold, and the wind coming off Elliott Bay made it worse. He looked thinner, tired. He had bags under his eyes like he hadn't slept in days. "Thanks for coming," he said, stuffing his hands into his jacket pockets. "I'm not here to fix anything," I told him straight. "I know," he nodded. I needed you to hear this from me, not Sophia." He paused, like he was searching for the right words. "She told you she's pregnant, right?" I nodded. "Well, I don't think it's mine," he said flatly. I blinked. "What?" "She was seeing someone else." I didn't know at first, but after we stopped talking, I started getting messages, screenshots, from a guy she was also sleeping with. He said she played both of us. I stared at him, confused. "Why would he send you that?" "Because she told him the same lies she told me. That I was obsessed. That I was her ex who wouldn't leave her alone." "Are you saying she trapped you?" I asked, eyebrows raised. "I don't know," he admitted. "But it's not clear-cut. She's refusing a paternity test for now. And she blocked me 2 days ago." This wasn't the twist I expected. I didn't respond. I just let it sit. Then he said something that made my blood run cold. "She also reached out to Daniel." My chest tightened. "What do you mean?" "She found him on social media. Messaged him a few days after your coffee meetup. Told him you were using him to get back at me." I felt the air leave my lungs. "That's why he ghosted me?" Alex shrugged. "I don't know. But maybe." I stood there in the wind, heart pounding, and for the first time since everything started, I realized something. I had no idea who to trust. And then, as if the universe was laughing, I got a message that night from Daniel. "Daniel, hey. Can we talk? I think I owe you an explanation." I stared at the screen, torn. I didn't know what to believe. Was Daniel just another player in this twisted game? Was Sophia lying to everyone? Or was Alex spinning one final manipulation to keep me tethered? I didn't sleep that night. And in the morning, something else dropped in my lap, literally. I opened my front door to head to work, and there was a plain white envelope on my doormat. No return address. Inside was a single printed photo. Alex and Sophia. Arguing on a street corner. Date stamped. And handwritten on the back, "Don't trust either of them. A friend." Now I'm in deeper than I ever wanted to be. Someone's watching. Someone knows more than they should. And I have no idea who's playing who anymore. I didn't respond to Daniel's message right away. I needed time to think, to breathe. But the photo and the note had unsettled me more than anything. Who was watching? Who left it? Why now? I decided to meet Daniel. If nothing else, I needed answers. We agreed to meet at a quiet pub near Lake Union, far from the drama and noise of downtown. It was the kind of place with low lighting and booths tucked into corners, like secrets could sit there comfortably. He looked guilty the moment I walked in. His eyes avoided mine at first, and he kept fiddling with the hem of his sweater. "Thanks for coming," he said softly. I didn't waste time. "Did Sophia contact you?" He nodded. "Yeah, she messaged me. Said you were still involved with your ex, said I was just part of some revenge game." "And you believed her?" "I didn't want to. But you never mentioned she was pregnant. And then you went quiet after we kissed." I cut him off. Because I was processing. Not plotting. Daniel's face twisted. I know. I should have asked. Instead, I just pulled away. I could feel the anger rising, but underneath it was disappointment. I wanted him to be better than Alex. But maybe all I was doing was setting myself up for more hurt. Before I could respond, my phone buzzed. Alex, meet me at Sophia's apartment. You need to see this. I stared at the screen. Daniel looked at me. You're not seriously going, are you? I need to end this, I said. Once and for all. He offered to come, but I told him no. This wasn't his fight. It started with Alex. It was going to end with him, too. Sophia's apartment was in Queen and, tucked into a quiet street with a steep slope. When I arrived, the door was open. I walked in slowly, heart pounding. Alex was there, standing in the living room. Sophia sat on the couch, arms crossed, a smirk playing on her lips. She didn't look surprised to see me. You said you had something to show me, I said. Alex turned toward her. Tell her. Sophia rolled her eyes. Seriously? Tell her, Alex repeated, his voice hard. She sighed. Fine. I'm not pregnant. Silence. I blinked. What? I never was, she said, casually like she was talking about the weather. It was just part of the game. What game? I asked, shocked. You think he was the only one who could play people? She said, gesturing toward Alex. He lied to me, too. Made promises. Then ghosted me. So I decided to hit back. I told him I was pregnant to see if he'd squirm. You reached out to Daniel, I said. Yup, she admitted without shame. You were the girl he couldn't stop talking about. I figured if I could get in his head, make you both question everything, maybe he'd feel half the pain I did. You're twisted, Alex said quietly. She laughed. You're just mad I played you better. I felt sick. It wasn't just about betrayal anymore, it was manipulation layered on top of lies, and I was stuck in the middle. You said you didn't know I existed, I said to her. At the coffee shop. She smiled. Yeah. That was a lie, too. Sorry. I stood there frozen. This was the lowest point. My chest felt tight, and my hands were trembling. I need to leave, I said, turning for the door. Alex tried to follow me. Marissa, wait. I stopped. Don't. Just don't. You have to know, I didn't plan for this to happen. I got caught up in everything. I never stopped loving you. I turned, and for the first time I didn't cry. I didn't yell. I looked him in the eye and said, you don't love someone and lie to them like this. You don't love someone and cheat, or blame them for your own mess. What you felt wasn't love. It was control. He didn't respond. And then, out of nowhere, Sophia added, well. I guess you both got what you deserved. That was the final straw. I walked out, slamming the door behind me. The next few days were quiet. Daniel texted again. He wanted to meet, to explain more. But I told him I needed space. My sister came over that weekend. We drank wine and watched movies and didn't talk much. At one point she looked at me and said, you're better off. Seriously. They were chaos. And she was right. I didn't feel relief, not exactly. It was more like stillness. Like after a storm finally passes and everything's soaked and broken, but the air is calm. I unfollowed both Alex and Daniel. I deleted Sophia's number. I blocked them all. I didn't want an apology. I didn't need closure. What I needed was peace. It's been a month. I still walk to work. I still sit in my apartment alone. But now, when I do, I feel stronger. I feel like I've stopped carrying other people's damage on my back. I'm not rushing into anything. No dating, no texts, no drama. Just me. I'm learning that it's okay to walk away, even when you don't get the answers you wanted. Sometimes the real closure is realizing you deserve more. And I do. I don't know where I'm going next. But I know who I'm not taking with me.